Hey Capricorns, this is Hal for HES Ultimage, and this is your channeled forecast for the month of November. Hey guys, no more long announcements. I learned my lesson about that. Alright, so the quick ones that I'm going to give you are number one, I am no longer using tarot and oracle cards. I am now directly channeling messages. I made my own index cards that maybe eventually I'll make into a deck because it's very concise and very unique. But right now they're for my private use. But I am no longer using tarot or oracle cards. I've outgrown them. I evolved with this channel, as many of you know by now. So now I'm just giving you the directly channeled messages. Okay. Second, I have debuted these new $20 readings, which I call a la carte readings because they're mini readings. It's one short question and mini monthly. Because now I can just get messages a lot faster. It doesn't take me nearly as long to pick, my symbols for cards, even with those index cards, because I've conglomerated everything and I can just pretty much directly channel most of the message now. So it's like, now I feel so confident about these shorter readings because I know I don't need as much time to like meander to find the meaning of things, okay? So that said, I feel really good about them. They're already pretty popular, and that was just when it was announced to my subscribers. So I'm really excited that everybody can benefit from that, so I hope you take advantage of it. All right. Okay, now let's get into November. All right, so first one for Capricorn. It was the energy of purification fire, and it was related to the mind. So the idea is to burn away everything that is superfluous, everything that is a distraction, everything that no longer serves you, okay? This is the big one. This is like the high energy here, okay, guys? So I'm going to be talking a lot about this energy, and it really has to do with the fact that it's like, we as human beings can go through a very toxic cycle of overthinking, overanalyzing, or going over the same things that no longer serve us and are no longer relevant. So, okay, already jumping into some examples. There are a lot of people who are bothered by things from the past. And I've been one of those people. I'm a lot better now. But to give you, direct examples and all, we can keep thinking about, okay, times that we were embarrassed, okay? That's so popular. So, like, you think about one time that you think you made, like, a spectacle of yourself or something like that, and you keep going over it again and again and again. But you have to realize that it's like the moment is over. And the usefulness of that moment is over, too. So it's like, you have to just be able to just have it, think of it as when a person burns a photo or a piece of paper, how it just dissolves away and disintegrates. That's what you need to do with that memory that no longer serves you, or mentality that no longer serves you, okay? Because this has a few different foils and facets here. But that's one example of that energy. Another is, when people have attachments to romantic feelings towards people who are no longer a part of their periphery. So for some people, this can be a person who, they met one time very casually and they hold them to a very high standard, like that, oh, well, I would have dated that person, or that person would have been perfect for me. If they're no longer there and you have no connection to them, then why bother engendering that thought a moment further? You have to do like burning the photo, but you do it with your thought, okay? And I gotta say, I'm gonna throw this out there because it's very cultural. People do this with Facebook all the time. So if you're one of those people who's like, well, maybe I don't think it, like, daydream it, but maybe I just go to people's Facebooks and then, like, pine after certain people, or that becomes a toxic cycle for me, then maybe I need to have that be the photo that I burn, okay? As far as, mental or, cerebral behavior that's distracting, okay? But that was a very modern equivalent to what, used to be just a mental process now becomes actually something that's like a temptation of physical activity, of going through an internet search or something, okay? For some people, this could even be relationships with family or friends. The point is, these things that are no longer useful, they have to be completely dissolved away. That's the other thing, because the energy of fire in the dissolve card is to burn it away and it doesn't come back. It's like it's gone. It doesn't have any use anymore. It's not practical to go back. So if you just, lighted a flame and set it to kind of the ashes to the wind, so to speak, just don't worry about it anymore. And I know sometimes that takes practice, but I've had to teach myself through my higher self to stop that behavior a lot. And okay, it might be a little easy if you can tell yourself in your head to quit it and like make yourself feel pulls in your body and stuff to stop it. I always jokingly said it's like energetically getting slapped upside the head or something, or nudged in the arm. But for any other person, it's about committing, committing to changing behavior, committing to releasing things that it's kind of like an insecurity blanket, if you want to call it that. The security blanket was from Charlie Brown. It was Linus's thing. This is kind of an insecurity blanket. It's like things that we kind of keep around because it feels safe to think about it. But at the end of the day, it's only making us feel like unhappy, strained, or stressed, forlorn, or foreboding. So you want to think of it that way. You have to outgrow it, basically. Okay? All right. Let me see some of these other key points. I feel like I've been hitting a lot of these, but I want to make sure I don't miss any. Okay, guys? All right. The maze energy was in with that too. And the idea is it's a journey and a process. So I think I touched on that pretty well. Okay. And that it feels like a smaller little thing. You know how these things just kind of pop up and kind of like, I really would say it's like a game of whack-a-mole, or a game of, the other one was the one with the crocodile that comes out and you hit it with the mallet. People's thoughts are like that too, especially insecure thoughts, or thoughts about things that we know will get us into a cycle and into a, okay, it's the kind of thing where it's like you think you're going to spend 1 minute or 5 minutes thinking about it, and you wind up wasting a half hour to an hour to 2 hours thinking about it, okay? It's a trap, okay? God, I sound like those big tobacco commercials with the seal, like, it's a trap! Nah, but it really is a mental trap to, follow through on those little blips that wind up becoming this, like, catastrophic mental event where you're just going through the thought again and again. Okay? Remember, it seems little, but it's a big thing that can lead to big rewards when you learn to not even just distance yourself, in your case, to, again, set the photo aflame and let it just be gone, Once you realize just how useless some of it is, that's all you need to feel better and to stop going into those patterns, okay? All right. Now I've got another one, and this is very Capricornian. Okay, and I have a lot in Capricorn for those who don't know, so I totally get this, not judging. You must simplify your thoughts. And then it even was like, light thoughts, okay? So, simplifying your thoughts in this case is not being so heavy, not being, okay, I already went into this a little, but the idea of you think of a little thing and it becomes a big thing because you're overanalyzing the situation. Because, again, I totally understand this. If you start at that little place and start overanalyzing, you're just draining yourself, you're wasting your own time with it. And this is the other interesting thing. I love this quote. It's from the movie Her, and it's like, the past is just a story we tell ourselves. I think that's a really important thing to remember when you're going through this process. Okay, it's like the past is no longer relevant anymore because we're in present and futureville, okay? And I believe past, present, future, they're connected. But once past happens, we're just holding ourselves in our own suspension, and we're just reliving the same things that are already over and done with. All that's left from there is the present and future to truly be of worth to us. Okay? All right. And with the light thoughts, the idea is for the month of November, then keep your thoughts more light. Don't get too intense. I know as a Capricorn, I can be like, serious as the grave sometimes. I know that doesn't seem that way to a lot of people through this channel where I kind of let loose and just, you know, um, tell it like it is and everything, but I can understand how you can have heavy thoughts. So remember, it's like the difference between heavy and light thoughts. It's, how much are you going to entertain a thought? That's one thing that has been very important here. And the other thing is not to have to be too life or death about things, not to get morose about things or a situation even. Um, because as part of your like survival kit for November, it's keeping your thoughts lighter and more I would say more of the moment, more okay, when I say of the moment, I even mean, don't obsess about what's going to happen tomorrow or in a week or in 2 weeks. Let it be a little more present, okay? Now, now I just want to mention this other thing here, because this was part of the dynamic cards, and these are some of the biggest cards in the deck that I made. The necessary present and participation. Okay, the lesson about that purification fire and burning the photo in your mind is the necessary participation this month. The idea that you need to be able to erase some of these patterns to be more free and to have your mind lighten the load in there, That's part of that necessary present. It's like what calls upon us within this kind of time breach between, your higher self of the future and, your present self in the moment where you're actually making the decisions and choices that will impact you greatly and lead you to your development, okay? This is a part of that necessary present. So take up that assignment, and I think you'll find great things happening. All right. Okay. So that said, I wish you a wonderful November. I do personal readings. If you want one, hit the link below or go to hesultimage.com, spelled just like the channel, and I will see you later.